Hello everyone, hello drivers, Americans and patriots, how are you doing? Well, Uber does it again, and you have to really start questioning whether Uber really cares about its drivers. Now listen, I am all for making a dollar. I'm all for companies making as much money as they can. I am for companies keeping their stockholders happy, but I'm also for companies that also look out for their workers. And I think it was about 14 months ago when Uber announced Uber teen accounts. And a lot of drivers were up in arms about this, and I can't blame them. I didn't have a problem with it. Because I can honestly tell you this, I'd rather drive one kid to school or whatever than be a school bus driver, especially for middle school students. I'll take my chances with one kid any day, but I do get it. It's a liability. He's a minor. You're an adult. Kids lie. They do stupid things. And this is where you need that dash cam. And I know Uber has their own dash cam system within the app. But then again, I find that to be the Uber dash cam to be like you go into arbitration against the government, and the government provides the mediator. You need to have your own dash cam. So I've never had a problem with taking kids. They've been good, whether they've been middle school, college kids, or high school kids. I can honestly say I haven't had a problem yet, and I've been to all different kinds of areas. But this one, out in California, Riverside County supervisors are set to approve a contract with Uber to provide rides to stranded convicts. You heard right. Stranded convicts. The Board of Supervisors has approved over a $2 million contract to Uber Technology to subsidize Riverside County inmates who can't arrange or afford to pay for their own transportation after they've been released from their county jail. The Riverside Inmate Detention Center and Ride Program has been active for just over a decade. It largely relied on taxis, private companies, to detainees from Benoit Detention Center, Bird Detention Center, and Robert Parks Jail in Riverside, and Smith Correctional Facility in Banning. Under the sheriff's proposal on the board's policies, this is amazing that the sheriff agrees to this. Oh, my goodness in heaven. So much for law and order and law enforcement. Uber will be recognized as a principal after-hours ride service for released inmates, utilizing Uber for business. Boy, this is the fact that a county sheriff would agree to something like this. It's just unbelievable. But I don't know what life in Riverside's like. I don't know if his hands are tied. But my goodness, I can tell you right now, if I'm a driver out there, and here's the other thing, out there, gig workers are not considered independent contractors. They're considered employees, and Gavin Newsom, I think, passed that law, or it might have been Jerry Brown, so they be entitled to health care, the state health care coverage. So I wonder how it works out there, if they can refuse rides. But I'm telling you right now, if I can, I have to go to Riverside County to pick up an inmate, I'm canceling that ride. I mean, assuming, if it's like here in New York where I drive blind, if they have upfront addresses and pricing, and I see that, I'm rejecting every time. They're saying the last 2 years in Riverside, 4,500 inmates have elected to use the voucher program to obtain rides via the Finish Line transport taxi service from correction facilities to their homes, according to Riverside County Sheriff. Yeah. If I am a driver, there is no way I am taking this ride. Now, as I'm seeing here, inmates are generally set free with no bond requirement when the county detention facilities exceed capacity. A 30-year-old federal court mandate means that the sheriff must have a bed available for each detainee or jail offender that must be released to make room for the incoming ones. Good job, California. Good job, Riverside. And of course, they do that based on a case-by-case basis. Basically, if you're in for an open container, they're going to release you. If you're being held for murder, you're not going anywhere. That's the way it usually works. So, there you go. Riverside County, California, to use Uber to transport inmates. Now, it gets better. Uber now saying they're going to introduce cash trips for riders, a new way for riders to pay and for you to earn. Okay, listen, the beauty of Uber and Lyft was to make everything a cashless transaction. Now listen, I am a cash guy. I am for using cash if you want it. But everyone knows that back in the 70s and 80s, at least in New York City, one of the most dangerous jobs there was to be a cab driver. Why? They always had a lot of cash on them because that's how they got paid. They needed cash to give change back. And so you were a target. And the beauty of this was to not make you a target. And despite that, we've still seen drivers get attacked, sexually assaulted, usually on late Friday nights and the Saturday morning, and Saturday night and the Sunday mornings. And I can tell you right now, if I could opt out of this, I'm not doing cash rides. You gotta be nuts. But here's the problem. They may try to violate you anyway because they're gonna take the chance saying you do have cash on you. Now, according to Uber, 15% of their clientels would use this service. And what's even more scary is that 26% of the drivers surveyed say they would gladly do it. Okay, guys, have fun. I mean, if you need it that bad, that's a chance you want to take. God bless you. I don't want to bother. But because, and when someone's desperate, they may think you have money anyway, so you could be the target whether you're doing cash rides or not. This is what makes me laugh here. Only verified riders can use a cash payment method. These riders have passed certain identity checks, such as government issue ID with Uber. Before you accept the trip, your offer card will display verified badge showing the rider's identity has been confirmed. A cash badge to let you know from the trip will be paid in cash. The rider's rating for additional peace of mind. Well, we have that already anyway. But I do like this. Cash trips will only be available between 6 a.m. and 10 p.m. I'll give Uber credit for that one. Especially doing anything after 10 p.m. on a Friday or Saturday night or on a holiday. Just too risky. Comments down below what your opinion like to know. And we'll talk to you later.